Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we break down R&B albums and talk about artists and the history with people who really love the culture and want to preserve it. I am Naturally Elise, and that is my brother.
JR.
And we are the R&B representatives, and we are super happy today to bring back one of our faves and one of y'all's faves, and that is the good brother, our brother, Keith Burroughs. Hey.
Hey now, just as much as food can get stuck on your teeth, whenever I'm gonna catch that, just call me Good Keith.
Hey.
Oh my God.
It has begun, baby.
Yes.
Right.
What's happening to all my cousins out there? You know what I'm saying? We back at it again.
Yeah. Sometimes he cousin Keith, sometimes he Uncle Keith. You know, he give you the uncleisms.
What you talking about there, Elise? What you talking about there, girl? I go from cousin to uncle. You know what I'm saying? That's a big step. That's a big step. But yeah. Oh man, I'm so glad to be back here with y'all. You know, it's always just a pleasure and an honor of mine to be amongst these great peoples that is JR and Elise. Man, and congrats again, y'all, on reaching over 1,000 subscribers. I just gotta say, it's well deserved. Y'all been killing it. Y'all continue to kill it. Man, I could just stand here and just give y'all props all day. But I know we're here to talk about an album too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So today we're gonna be talking about an album that I kind of bugged Keith about, and kind of kept trying to nudge him to it. He was going all around it. I was like, "Well, don't you want to talk about?" And I think I wore him down.
Oh yeah, no, and look here, you wasn't no exterminator because you wasn't bugging me about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually happy that we gonna discuss this album. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about the timing. I was waiting on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And here we are. Here we are.
So how about Cousin JR or Brother JR?
Yes.
Tell us what album we're gonna be talking about, and he gonna explain a little bit why I'm so hyped and want to talk about it so bad.
So y'all, the album that we will be discussing, as you can see behind Elise, is Eric Benet, A Day in a Life. This is a favorite of hers. Like, this is one of the albums she's been wanting to talk about. So like she said, she kind of bugged Keith to do it. I mean, he don't want to admit it, but she did. And but this album is so like, this is so album that I wanted to talk about too, because it's so good. It's such a good album to talk about, man. So we're going to talk about all of the songs. We're going to get into everything about this. You know what I'm saying? This might be Elisa's episode because, y'all, she just loves this album down. And I can say that the guitar is definitely the star of this album, for real, for real. So, and somebody's learning to play guitar. So this just makes this episode even special. So this is amazing. This is awesome. So y'all know how we like to do it, y'all. So Keith, when did you get introduced to Eric Benet?
Wow. So I first heard of Eric Benet, but didn't know who he was at the time, if that makes sense, when he was a part of the duo Benet with his sister. And how I heard about that album, ironically, was a good friend of mine happened to have a copy of the album, but I never really listened to it. I just remember seeing the cover and it saying Benet on the front. And then I believe it wasn't until he released his debut solo album, True to Myself, that I realized or found out that he was a part of Benet and that it was him and his sister. And so it really more so was with the True to Myself album, which I think is a great album in his catalog and a dope debut solo album too. But it was really, I think, A Day in the Life that I really got to know more of his music and really get into it. And he's been for me, one of my favorite singers, and I think his pen game is crazy too. And he shows it on this album. He definitely shows it on this album. So I'd say in his catalog, this would be in my top two favorite of his album. So this one and a later album, Lost in Time, are my two favorites.
Good one.
Yeah. But this album, I think, really just was a step up from True to Myself, where on the debut, he introduced himself and, you know, showcased his versatility with his writing and performing. This album, I feel like he dealt with different emotions, and you can kind of hear it interwoven throughout the album.
Yeah.
So
I got introduced to Eric Benet. He had the song "Spiritual Thing."
Yes.
But that almost made me not be a fan because I don't like that song.
Fair enough.
It's probably my least favorite song on that debut album.
Mine too.
I think that was the first single, I believe, from that album too, right?
It was. No, that's how I got introduced. Because the friend was like, and my friend loved the song. She's like, oh my God, it's Eric Benet. He has the songs. So I was excited. It was one of those where somebody got you excited, listens on it, and then it kind of fell flat for you. Right. I didn't hate the song, but it just didn't move me. I would say. I say disliking it is kind of strong. It just didn't connect.
Oh,
baby. When that damn femininity came around the corner.
Oh yeah.
I was like, all right, sign me up for this Eric Benet fella. Sign me up.
That's one of them songs where he made big words sound good.
He did a Mariah. He did a Mariah.
Right.
Yeah. He was just like, you know, the quietly your silhouette approaches me, you know, it just very poetical. You know what I'm saying? And then talking about the feminine seduction of mind, soul, and body and all that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was in his bag on that joint. And I want to say, my bad, before Spiritual Thing, it was Let's Stay Together that was on the Thin Line Between Love and Hate soundtrack.
Yes. Yeah.
But I love the Midnight Mix, I think is what it's called.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, that version right there, I'm like, you better stop playing. Yeah. I'll tell somebody, let's stay together, just off that mix alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I ain't lying. Look here. I'll be true to myself and be like, let's stay together. Okay? I'll be there. You know, it's a spiritual thing. I'm just saying.
I knew I was waiting till we got there. I knew it was coming. I didn't know when. I just knew it was So it's funny how I got into Eric, because I got into him from Femininity, the video. And it used to be on Planet Groove, and it'll always be at the bottom of the list on Planet Groove. You know what I mean? Because it never really got the love that it really deserves. So when I would see it a lot, I'm like, who is this dude with his shirt open with no shoes on in the desert? Like, who is this? Like, I was just like, and he's singing down though. Like he's singing down. And I'm like, so it used to get me like every week on the top 25 Planet Groove, he would be on it. And I was just like, you know what? Because during this time, you got D'Angelo and Maxwell is killing it during this time. Like eating everything up. These are the new guys, and that's it. Hello, come on, somebody. And, you know, obviously, this is the time when now everybody that's coming after them is getting compared to them. So obviously, you got Eric Benet that came out, Kenny Lattimore that came out, like, but they're completely different from them, but they're getting compared to them. But I was never in that anyway, because when they tried to compare D'Angelo and Maxwell, I didn't compare them. I was like, no, I'm gonna listen to them on my own merit, because I know what's going on here. You know what I mean? So I never forget, I went to, you know, I got this stuff bootleg, no, don't be mad at me, Eric, but I got your first album on bootleg. But I went to the joint where they had the 3 for 10, right? And this was in like November of 96, because his album came out in September of 96, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't get it until November. I got it with I got my 3 for 10. I got Drew Hill's debut. I had got Mid Condition, The Definition of a Band, and then I had gotten Eric Benet. And I was like, I'm just gonna grab it because obviously this is the time when I'm on Drew Hill. Like I'm there, like I'm a fan of theirs. But I was like, all right, and then I'm a fan of Mid Condition, obviously. So I got my 3 for 10, and I was like, I'm just gonna get this Eric Benet, the True to Myself, to just see how this is. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'm in my Drew Hill, I'm in my Mid Condition. I finally put in True to Myself. I was like, well, goddamn. Like, I was like, well, goddamn. I was like, this album is dope. You know what I'm saying? With joints like I'll Be There and All in the Game and Femininity and Chains and those joints. I was like, yo, he's an amazing songwriter. Like, he can write the hell out of a song. And it's just so chill. And I was online a couple of weeks ago and I saw somebody say that he's the guy that he wants the musicians to shine. He's kind of like an Anita for real. And they like the drums got a drum behind him. The strings got a string behind him. The guitar got to be like guitar behind him. And they said it kind of reminds you of like a Stokely with Mid Condition. Because they're a band. And him so musically inclined as he is, they was like, they can kind of see the compare. And I can see that. Because with True to Myself, it's like the musicality of this album is just so like it's so dope. And that's why I get so upset when they were doing that comparison thing. Because I'm like, that don't sound like no Brown Sugar, that don't sound like no Urban Hang Suite, that don't sound like any of them joints.
Okay.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I just want you to take a breath for a second. The reason, yes, they're different artistically, but they are alike in a lot of ways, and that's why they got compared. So you can't completely dig people for comparing them. Because, well, for the reason you said though, what the person online said about them caring about the instruments, and those 4 artists you just named, they all deeply care about that. They are all musicians. They understand that. That's the through line from D'Angelo, Maxwell, Stokely, and Eric. So that's why, even though their music stylistically is different in a lot of ways, but they all care about the music. They care about the writing. They all write. They all, so that's part of why they got compared. And because people just like to compare people. Just because it's men of the same age on the same year.
Right. And then the True to Myself does have a thickness to it, like Maxwell and D'Angelo did. You know what I mean? It is thick. It's very thick. You know what I mean? And then he's doing the same thing. I mean, the only thing Maxwell wasn't doing was Maxwell ain't have his shoes off. And and his afro was afro and just started with his, little and the twist, you know what I'm saying?
And but of all the people he was compared to, I do think that the Maxwell was the most accurate comparison though. Because they both do that they can sing in multi octaves in all of them. They can all go deep, they can all give you a falsetto moment, and they rock you out in the pocket in the middle. So in the pocket rather. And so of all the people they compared, I think Maxwell's the closest, but they're still different, very different. But I think that's the comparison that makes the most sense.
Right. I agree with that.
But it still irritates me because why sit and compare them and just listen to all of them and get your 3 for 10 like J.I. did.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a hella 3 for 10 you got, brother man.
Listen, that's what I
you
could
did
afford
good.
from my allowance at that time. That's all I could afford.
Hey, you did good. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yes,
getting
that
$6,000.
listen. What?
Because there may be a comparison, but they're each in separate lanes,
Right.
and for the fact that they all three of them at that time were coming out with their debut albums. Well, Eric being the debut solo album, but it's like, those are great introductions for all three of them. And like, true to myself, you can tell his influences throughout the album. Like, I feel that he definitely was influenced by Prince on songs like Chains and even the title track, True to Myself. Like, even with a slight, maybe Lenny Kravitz feel, I'd say more so on True to Myself than probably anything else on the album. And even his remake of If You Want Me to Stay. Like, I like how he, put his own spin on it with the late great Roger Troutman, but he still like kept the essence of the original.
Yeah, and I just think with that, it was like now that the neo soul thing was so popular, they just threw everybody in there. Everybody was getting thrown in there. Unfortunately, that's just the way the industry goes, and it happens. And that's why I'm so glad. So when he made this move for this next album, it was completely different, but it still gave us what we loved about Eric. But it was still kind of like a transition. And like I told Elise earlier, I was like, it was the commercial sound that he got right, but it still had the rawness that we loved about Eric. So he was still true to himself on A Day in a Life. You know what I mean? It wasn't forced at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you felt like, you know how you got them artists that be like, that like our experimental era, at least, where we got our artists that you be like, ooh, you was trying too hard. Like, it just didn't work. It felt very forced. We're going into 99, into the new millennium now. So a new sound is coming in. You know what I'm saying? This is when Rodney and, Timbaland and the Neptunes and all them are coming in. So this new sound is coming in. Where do you fit? And I'm just glad that he fit right. And he did it right.
Something for the people. I'm going to stop leaving them out of these conversations about the new sound.
Facts.
Thank you. It stops today.
Yes. And Chastity will be very happy that you did that. Chastity will be
they need to be in there because they are a huge part of that sound and work with a lot of people's favorite artists, big artists.
I agree. Shout out to Sauce that did the interview with Chastity, our girl. Hey, girl. And he did the interview with him. And they talked about the 25th anniversary of A Day in a Life. And what he did and his work on it. And absolutely, Elise, you got to add something for the people. I also got to add Eric Seitz in there, too. Eric Seitz is another one that does not get the credit for the sound that he started in the 2000s as well. So
and our very good brother, Mr. Brian Morgan.
Yes.
I don't leave his name out either.
But I ain't leave his name out since 1992. Come on, somebody. And he been on this album too.
Yeah.
That's right.
But everybody ain't you, JR, so they need to stop.
You right.
We will not have these conversations without mentioning the Eric Seitz and the Troy Taylors of the world and the Something for the People and the Brian Alexander Morgan. It stops today.
Now, I will say I agree with everything you guys have said up to this point about A Day in the Life. And going back and listening to this in preparation for this episode, I was like, yo, this is still, like I said, in my top 2 favorite albums of Eric's catalog. There are a couple moments throughout the album where I'm like, for me, they didn't necessarily age well in time. And I felt like during the time that this was released, it may have worked, but it still may not have been like the gel, in my opinion, to make this album as cohesive. I don't hate any songs on this album. There's a song or two where I'm like, if it was up to me, I would take out.
Me and Elise
That's
just
fair.
had this conversation, and I said, Elise, I got a feeling that Keith is gonna be like, oh, there's some song. I was like, I had a feeling, and once you did it, I was like, I know my cousin, so we good.
Yes, but I love this album though. With that said, you know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah,
again, yeah, like when you listen to it, you know, around the time it came out versus now, it's like, oh, you may have either missed something, you know, listening to it before that you didn't get right away. And sometimes, yeah, just sometimes it hits, sometimes it can be misses. But I
yeah.
think overall, if I were to give it a rating, I would give this a solid 4 out of 5. I give it a solid 4 out of 5.
It ain't
So,
bad. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. So, so after he comes out with that, it's like Eric kind of went. You didn't really hear too much from him after that. Like after his
right.
debut came out, and then he did a record on something for the People's Record on that
Right.
'97 record. Sauce, can I ask you a question? Can we get the remix on streaming, please? Of My Love Is a Can we get that on streaming, please?
Seriously, yeah.
Like, I beg of you.
Seriously.
Like, I beg
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
But so he did that with them, and then you didn't hear nothing.
Right.
And then y'all in like the beginning of '99, we hear him and he releases Georgie Porgy with him and Faith.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Right. Right. Right.
I was
Yeah.
like, what Eric is this? The dreads done grew. I was like, what is going on? Like, what? I was like, and they just sound so good together. Like it was just everything to me. And then it had the street vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like she's used to that. That's her lane. You know what I'm saying? She can get on a street joint and make it angelic, like people say that she does.
Yeah.
And then for him, it was a whole different vibe, but he didn't again sound forced on it. And them two sounded so good together. Okay. Just her, what?
And who produced it?
Sauce.
I'm about to do like Craig. Who now produced?
Sauce.
Sauce.
One more time.
Sauce. Sauce. Yes. Shout out to Sauce. Yes.
Proving once again why Elise said we cannot leave something for the people out as far as that, because that sound that he did on this record, on this song, was just flawless. And Eric and Faith sounded so good on it. Just her. And then during this time, Faith is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just coming off Heartbreak Hotel with Whitney. So she's getting that, commercial audience with her. She just released Keeping the Faith. So she's getting that. And then everything just magically worked for this record. It felt so warm. Faith just sounds so good. Oh my God, man. Jesus.
Yeah. And
quick.
Oh, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, no. My bad. I was trying to interrupt. I was going to say, side note, speaking of production from Sauce and Something for the People, they're really good when it comes to producing covers. Because like how they did with Georgie Porgy, and then later on Just Two of Us for Will Smith.
Yep.
Like, that was a dope, cover, and they put their own spin to it and made it, current for, the day. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Something for the People for
because they definitely so Georgie Porgy is a song that I always love. You know how I could go with a song you love being covered, it can go bad. It's especially in the 90s. And so with the sound being so different. But their version is definitely my favorite version of that song.
Yeah.
Follow close second. I love Luther the Charm version. But I also love the Toto version, the original.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it Mother's? Is it Mother's Finest that did it too?
Oh,
Is
I
that
think
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Mother's
yes.
Finest.
Yes. Yes.
Like I like every version, but I did the Eric and Faith version, definitely my favorite.
I agree with JR, how they just sounded so good together. And Faith, yeah, just brought that lush, just like feel good, just vocal to it. And she, played the role of, well, being, the co-star of the song, but she was just mainly in the background, just providing just the angelic vocals, and Eric was in the lead doing his thing. And shout out to Cheryl Lynn too for being the female vocal on Toto's version of Georgie Porgy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Faith channeled that energy, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
made it current. And like her backgrounds and like just even her riffing at the end, like she was just matching Eric's energy, you know what I mean? And like that's bold for that to be the first single off of his new album, but it worked. You know what I mean? For being a cover of someone else's song rather than putting out an original song, as his first single. But I think it worked.
It did
I,
work. Just the
yeah.
high energy and the the like JR said, the hip hopness of it fit right into it fit into the sound that was out, but it didn't sound like anything else. But it fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of anything that sounded quite like that year.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that comes to
No.
memory. Like that was
No.
a very unique song, and it was a song I think all ages could appreciate. Also,
Yes. Hmm.
so it kind of spread that. It covered a lot of ground.
Right. And it reminds you of, again, because it's a it's obviously a cover, so it's gonna make you think about, what I'm saying, the original of it all. But then I love how they made it their own. Like,
Yeah.
again, the riffing that him and Faith does is what really makes it to me. Because again, it's like the chorus is obviously what it is. But again, with the beat being what it is, and Eric is just singing, and Faith is just like you said, keep the shit that they doing at the end, just vocally. It's just like they're back and forth. Like he does this riff, Faith comes behind him and does the same riff, and it's just perfect. It was a perfect marriage to me. You know what I mean? And I love that they performed it live on Planet Groove, when Planet Groove used to give the artist a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole hour, how Erica got her whole hour for Baduism, Rassan got his whole album for his. Like I used to love that. So he had got his hour, and him and Faith did Georgie Porgy, and Mary is singing background behind them.
I didn't realize that. That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're singing background behind him. And they sound so good, and you could tell it's just like they're having fun with the record. And again, like I said, it's just not forced. And if you were a fan of Eric, you like, okay, is he gonna come with something like a spiritual thing or femininity or something like that as the first single to kind of be like, all right, I'm back. But it was something new. It was something with new flavor, but Eric was
Yeah.
still singing. And if you
Right.
know Eric Benet fan, he sings down. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then to
Yes.
have Faith on there, it was just, I think it was a perfect marriage. And I think it was a brilliant first single to start off a new album, a new era, and things like that. So I thought it was so brilliant. So I was like, uh-oh,
I
Yeah,
Eric
agree.
so
coming
I
with
thought,
something new.
so I thought a brilliant part of the song to me is, as it goes dun 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 dun, and all the music drops out and they just
Right.
vocalize, oh, dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun, oh. And it's like this build up. It's just
Yeah.
it's a fun song to listen to. It's a fun song to sing along with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just be dramatic, and it's
Yeah.
it's a it's a perfect song to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who Georgie Porgy is, but I'll sing along though and be like, kiss the girls that made them cry. I probably cried too. My name was Georgie Porgy. I mean, cause I can't say it with my name because it'd be like Keithy Weethy Pudding Pie. It don't sound right, but Georgie Porgy. I mean, what? Come on,
Help
man.
him, Lord.
It's
Help him,
just
Lord.
made him
Help him,
cry.
Lord.
Hey,
Lord.
that's just my way. That's all I'm saying. That's just my way of sharing how I feel about Georgie Porgy. You know what I'm saying? They asked me, what's the total? I'm like, I don't know what the total is. I didn't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's Georgie Porgy for pie. I mean, somebody wanted dessert. I mean, what kind of dessert? It's pudding pie. Made by who? Georgie Porgy. I don't know.
We're not in Kansas anymore, but we will go to Kansas later in this.
I like how you did that. That was so smooth. You better.
Yes.
you better. The way she did that. Oh,
yes.
Yes, you better. And you got me stunned. I don't even know where to go after.
I mean,
let's go for the first song. That's just my way.
Yes. Okay. So now that's the first single. So now the album comes out, right? And it's just like, oh God, it was just like, this is a new Eric, but it's still the same Eric. You know what I mean? So it was a good album. Like I told Elise earlier, I was like, he got the commercial side right, but he also got the album cuts right to me. And I think everything just worked. And that's why this is his best-selling album. I think, this is the one that everybody goes to when you say, what Eric album do you want, somebody to go to when you being introduced to him? And a lot of people say A Day in a Life. You know what I mean? But it makes sense. It is. You know what I mean? It's if you're a commercial type of listener, this is for you. If you are raw R&B to the this is for you. So it's the marriage of both. You know what I mean? So I think it was great. So he starts it off, y'all, with "That's Just My Way."
Yes, and I think this was a great way to start the album, especially with the production. Shout out to Ali Shaheed Muhammad
I
for
met him.
Oh, word?
Yeah. I met him after a midnight hour performance. So him and Adrian Young.
Oh,
I got to meet both, and they were so nice. I got a bunch of pictures with them. It's really dope. It was a really dope night.
I mean, from interviews I've seen with Ali, he seems like just a real down to earth, very chill type of cat. And obviously he's just been in this game for so long, and he's contributed to a lot of works that we may either know he has or maybe has been under the radar. But I know he definitely sprinkled some of his talented production throughout this album. So I love how they started off the album with this joint, and even just like, I think you had mentioned offline, JR, about the guitars playing a major part of this album. Like, it starts out with a little guitar, like, then you hear Eric Benet's vocals like just like ease his way into his background vocals is crazy.
Listen,
so smooth, and then it's like the build up comes, and then the beat, it's just got like a nice bounce to it, and it's like you just make your shoulders move. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you what though, he came off being confident on this song, Eric Benet. Talking about he wasted no time talking about what he wanted. He was like, "Hear me, take me in slowly, so you can understand how deep my love and go." I was like, what? And then, I'll look up the lyrics if you want to, but I'm just saying he was not afraid to say this. That's just my way of, letting you know, hey, we can get down basically over this like mid-tempo groove. And I think it was a dope way to start the album.
I knew when I first heard the song, first of all, like you said, the guitar, the bass, Spanky is playing the hell out of this bass, right? And it's very gospel to me. This song is very gospel production-ish to me. And obviously with Spanky, he was down, with the Mighty Clouds of Joy. So you're getting that. You know what I mean? He played guitar with them since the 70s. Right.
Wow.
So when I first heard this song, I was like, this is giving me D'Angelo vibes. I did. I said, it's giving me that. It's giving me Smooth from Brown Sugar. So then I said, now, wait a minute. I said, hold up. Ali Shaheed Muhammad is part of this song. I said, okay, now the dot, connecting the dots. Like I was like, makes perfect sense. I was like, oh, I got it. So I was like, yo, this song, I was like, oh, this is something fresh. This is something new for Eric. Mind you, I'm already like Georgie Porgy. I'm like, he's giving me this new flavor. Then you give me this? I was like, okay, Eric is not playing with us on this. And then I said the gospel comes in because I'm a Hawkins family from my grandma, God bless her soul. She loved Walter Hawkins. And, in this song, he says, whatever that is, like he says that. It reminds me of what is this with the bass line. And then the way he's using that melody to me. And it reminds me of that. And I was just like, this song is just gospel to me. And it just goes to show how much gospel is in R&B, y'all. And it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this was one of the songs, even though it's a groove, it still had that gospel underline to me. And I was like, I felt Walter Hawkins vibe on this. And then, you had obviously Ali Shaheed Muhammad on this, and then Eric, and it was just like all of that on this song. It was just like, I could not pass this song when I first heard it. Like listening to this album, I could not. I was just like, oh my God, like this, Eric is not playing with us. Like this is not. So in my 6 CD changer in my room, because it was 6 discs, y'all. That's when, we brought CDs and stuff, y'all. But, now we have the vinyl stuff.
Some people got 3 for 10s, though. Anytime y'all be giving the young people a little too much, in my opinion, I have to call them out. Because them streaming is the same as you buying them 3 for 10.
And it was. Well, see, I got the day in the life. I actually brought that.
3 for 10 ain't had no liner notes, boo-boo.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But I actually got the day in the life. I actually brought this. So I did. So Eric, I did pay for this album. It's true to myself that I didn't. I'm sorry, but I did pay. I did pay.
It's all in the game. It's all
right. Right. So I got my money after this album. You got all my coins. Okay. You got all my coins because I got Hurricane in 2005. So yes. So I that 3 for 10. Don't worry about it no more. That was with I was 10 years old with my allowance money. That's all I could afford. I'm sorry.
But you true to yourself now, though.
Come on, somebody. Yes. Come on, somebody.
I'll be there to testify.
I goes out and buys the vinyl, baby. I'm supporting the artists that I love.
I'll be there to testify on behalf of AR that he's true to himself. I'm true to myself too. Watch out now. I agree with you on the sound of the production of That's Just My Way. Lyrically, he nasty on this joint. He snuck some like messages all up in there talking about like just what he wants her to do. That's just his way. Yeah, according to his rules, like telling her to like walk to him slowly and lifting up clothing so he can see where he belongs. Don't mind me. That's just my way. That's what he said. He started off a day in the life. If this is a conceptual album, I don't know if it was meant to be or not. But if this is supposed to be a 24-hour period type of album, he's starting that off like with the early birds. talking about that's just my way. This is what we gonna do on my terms, my conditions. That's just my way. I ain't talking Usher. I'm talking pre-Usher. That's just my way. Okay. Talking about lifting clothing, garments, and stuff. I'm about to start talking like Cat Williams, and I ain't trying to do that. I'm just saying that's how I felt, sir.
Hey, we truth telling at 24.
Whoa, folk. You know what I'm saying?
We being true to ourselves.
Come on, somebody.
But
Yes.
no, like I didn't realize
he wanted a little more than a spiritual thing. he was trying to put them clothes up to see that femininity.
That femininity. Man, that's a tongue twister. Femininity.
Yeah,
because he said pull that skirt up.
Yes, he did.
I mean,
the clothing, garments.
And then he kissed the girls and made them cry.
To see where he said to see where he belongs. He knows where he wants to belong, but he wants her to follow rules to see where he look. See, I didn't realize that's what he was really talking about until, like, again, I went back to listen to the album because I was younger when I first heard this album. But now it's like, oh, okay, you that's your way. All right, bro. Do your
real
thing.
Real mannish.
Just right out the gate.
Very.
And I feel like he speaks about a lot of emotions on this album, boy. But yeah, he has no problem showing off his sensual side, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, for 99, you know, it wasn't like a terrible thing. I mean, who knows what it would sound like if he were to have done A Day in the Life in current time. You know what I mean? And I feel in that way, there's definitely a song or two that I think would not necessarily work if it was done in current time, had he done it in the way that it was done in 99, if that makes sense. But I'm sure.
Yeah, you can. I can feel you because songs are for the time. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. The next joint is Georgie Porgy, which we discussed. So it's like he's 2 for 2 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like he's already 2 for 2. I'm already going to head over heels to Georgie Porgy, and then That's Just My Way, which he's talking his shit. So I'm like, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, Eric, let this album keep going. Then he comes with Spend My Life With You.
Man, look.
Woo!
That's one of them ones where it's not just made for, you know, weddings and things of that nature, but it's just a beautiful song. It was beautifully written.
Yep.
The production is magnificent. In my opinion, it matches very well with the lyrics to the song. And him and Tamia, my gosh. Like, we thought him and Faith was doing their thing, and they did on Georgie Porgy, but I just feel like him and Tamia just have like this chemistry when they do duets together. That
and you know what? They were so perfect to be together because they both have that pure tone that they don't even have to, like, they can do all the runs and carrying on. They can and do it well. But they also, when they're just flat foot regular singing, their tone is so perfect and beautiful that they don't even have to do the acrobatics. But when they do give it to you, you're like, ooh, but they'd have been great without it. But that's just icing on the cake, you know. It's just pure tone. Like, it's very few people that have a tone like Tamia has. Not has.
Speak on it.
You know, like just perfect tone, perfect pitch. Like,
and you knew it after they came out of the bridge, and when they hold that note, like it was like, like it just it gives you chills. Like I wish we would have gotten performances of them during that time, because it was like every time he did it live, he did it with what's her name, Terry Dexter. Yes. He always did the live performances with her. But I wish we would have got it with them too. Even though now, like I think they first was like in 2012 where they did it on the, I think when they had the show, the joint that what's the dude that played Ghost? What's his name? Omari Hardwick. Where they had the verses, they had to show something in verses or something like that. And he hosted it. It was on TV1. And that was really the first time we seen them do it then. And I just said and to me, I think Eric works great with women. He's like a Marvin for real. He works great with what he worked great with Faith. He worked great with Tamia. He worked great with Kate. I mean, what's her name? Cassette Michelle, Lettucey. He worked with Faith again. You know what I mean? Even his daughter India. Like he works well with women voices. And I'd be like, he's on that Marvin tip to me because Marvin can work with any female, and it worked. You know what I mean? But this song is just so beautiful. Like Elise just like she said, they both have pure voices, and it was perfect with each other. And I love this song because it makes me smile all the time because my mom's best friend had gotten married, and she was in the wedding, and me and my cousin Crystal, we was telling, my mom was going and she felt like she was gonna be by herself. And me and my cousin didn't tell my mom that we was taking off and all this. So we was like, yeah, ma, have fun at the wedding or whatever. So we sitting in, we took a cab and all that kind of mess, like did all of that. And we sat in the audience or whatever. And the bridesmaids walked down to Spend My Life With You. And they walked down to it. So my mom's walking down, and my mom got the biggest smile, and she walking down and she looks in the audience and sees us and was like, and that song was playing. So I would never, anytime I hear that song, I think of her when she saw us and just smiling. And then when, one of her good friends, God bless her soul, because she passed, and she walked in with her wedding dress and the bridge comes in. And that's when Eric and Tamia hits that note and she's walking up. And it was just so beautiful. So I have a great memory of this song. And like Elise said, they so clear. And it's like, you just couldn't get no better than this. You know what I mean? It was just like, damn, Eric, you 3 for 3. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm acting like I'm mad that you 3 for 3, but still, like, it's just like, like this is such a beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful words. He's a great songwriter. So yeah.
Really, really is. And shout out to hopefully I'll say his name right. I think it's his cousin that he normally collaborates with, DeMonte
Poise. Yes.
Poise. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know Steve's worked with him pretty much, I think, up till current time, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they do really, really great work together. And if I'm not mistaken, also, I think Eric Benet, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, if you happen to see this, please don't get mad at me. I think he's working on a duet album right now with all females. And I think he collaborated again with Tamia. And I think some other ladies too.
I know he was talking about a duet album. And who was he with at this particular?
I think Shantae
I don't remember, but I definitely saw him talking about that album. That was him talking about it.
I think that's coming up sometime soon. But yeah, his chemistry with, female singers, it's on point like a decimal, for sure, for sure.
Stupid.
But no,
oh God, I love it.
It's just a beautiful song, man. And it definitely, just puts you in that place of just, if you're not in love already or, preparing to make that next move, that, it makes you want to be in that space. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my fiance, soon to be wife. Hi, Emily. Love you, girl. Yes, indeed. Yeah. But no, Spend My Life With You is just a beautiful, beautiful record.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And I
Dope
think that's
video.
what helped propel, people still talking about A Day in the Life as an album because of how much, you
Yeah.
know, it's impacted people over the years. And that just shows like how timeless of a record that is. And so,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was, I guess that's the song that really took the album over. You know
Out
what I
again.
mean? And gave that commercial credibility and all of that really made the album. I think the album went platinum. Has it gone to platinum? I hope it
I know
did.
it's definitely gold. It should be maybe platinum by now.
It's
Not
it's
sure.
not
Yeah.
platinum.
Not yet.
Nope.
Oh,
752,000.
Oh wow.
oh, um, they need to certify it. It was shipped.
Yeah.
Give them a
Right.
$1,000.
Excuse me.
And
Well, I think
it was shipped $1 million. Give it to them. But yeah, it's just that song took it, and that was the commercial stuff, and that's when everybody was just like, okay, yeah, Eric is Eric. You know what I'm saying, for this record. So beautiful, beautiful song, beautiful song.
yes, indeed.
Okay, so we get into Something Real.
Yeah, Something Real.
This was a flavor of the time type of record. Like this was, this is the time we were in. He needed a record like this. You know what I mean? Like he needed a record like this. And it was very, shout out to Sauce. Sauce did his thing with Eric, for real. Like he knew the sound that he needed. This is 1999. We're going into the new millennium right now. You know what I mean? And the sound was just yet again changing. And you needed that type of bop. You know what I'm saying? Like you needed that. But the double time bop. Yes, you needed that. And this is one of those records that gave that. And
that's the song I told you. It at first listen, it sounds like it's about to be a dark child. Right? Don't it sound like a dark child? Because that's what I thought. I was like, wait. I was like, no. So that's interesting.
Even the like riffs that he does, how it has that filter sound. Whoa, whoa. You hear that like throughout the 99s and 2000s.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that you hit it right on the nail, JR. Flavor of the time, yeah, because it has that double time bop to it, and just even how he approaches the song. Because I mean, it's just a more aggressive version of "That's Just My Way" to me. Because he's basically saying, like, I just want to give something real to you. Like, basically, like, look, I don't know what you're waiting for, but I got something real here, and so I'm just waiting on you. Like, what you want to do? I mean, he said something about drive you like Miss Daisy, ain't no can fame. I was like, oh Lord have mercy, he is in with the times right now. I don't think that would work in 2024, but that's again just my way of saying Something Real. It is one of the ones where, again, I don't hate the song. Shout out to Sauce for the production, but it's one of my least favorites on the album.
And then Truth Hurts is singing background on this record.
I saw that she they may have also co-wrote the song too, which I didn't realize that was her in the background. But yeah, shout out to
because I was just like, for real, when I first heard this, I thought it was Tamia singing background for real. I was like, is that Tamia on background? I'm like, well, it could be. You know what I mean? But I could look at the liner notes this time because I actually brought the record, so I could actually look at the liner notes and see who. I didn't have to worry about, because when you get it bootleg, you just getting the cover and that's it. You ain't getting nothing else. That's it. At least I went and got this, because this one I think this was I think this one was $16.99 if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, again, going back to when we had to buy records, and hey, you might have not liked it, but you had to love it after you paid all that money for it, so you were going to listen to it. You know what I mean? So when I did, I was like, does it sound like to me? And I was like, oh no. And then I was just like, once I did I was like, yo, that's Truth Hurts on background. Oh shit.
Right.
I was like, yeah. So, but again, I agree with you, Keith. I think this is a song that was definitely for the times, and you needed it. You know what I mean? Obviously, does it fit into now? Is it one of them most timeless records? No, but you
No.
needed that, and I'm glad the Source did do this because it
Yeah.
gave it the commercial sound that it needed for that time for Eric to kind of fit in the playlist of what was going on during that time. So I think it's, again, I shout out the Source for what he did with that, for real, for real.
Shout out to Sauce for sure. And it's not like Eric couldn't, execute that.
Mm-hmm.
But, from what we know of Eric throughout his career and his catalog, like he's more polished as, just like you said, like he just sings down, you know what I'm saying? And he makes that type of music for, that audience. And, for A Day in the Life, as far as the album goes, like during that time, yeah, it made sense then. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, it was good for the time. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for sure.
All right, so the next record. Knock, 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 knock. Who's there?
Ooh,
Knock, 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 knock.
who's
Who's
there?
there? Knock,
He said,
knock,
anybody
knock.
home?
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
This is a shady
Loving
ass
your
song.
best friend.
This is a shady ass song.
Hello.
Loving your
The
best
title.
friend.
You can't tell me that even just reading the title of the song, Loving Your Best Friend,
When I first heard it, I thought it was gonna be a sweet song. I thought it meant like,
yeah.
like Gerald, you say you look at the titles to see before you listen to the album the first time. So I was thinking, especially with the track list of being "Spend My Life with You," something real. I thought it was going to be like your partner is your best friend, and so that's what I had thought.
Yeah,
but
you were sadly mistaken.
I had thought all the way wrong.
All the way.
Shady ass song. He starts off talking about, if you're wondering why I'm knocking, or when you're knocking, why I ain't opening up, I'm loving your best friend. He ain't talking Uber Eats. That's why he ain't answering the door. It ain't because Uber Eats is at the door dropping off, food.
And
he's loving her best friend.
And is.
I am turning this camera, and Keith, you walk right out that door.
I can.
He done CC Peniston you. That ain't right.
I'm trying to ease into talking about knock, 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 who's there? You know nobody. You know who's at the door. The hell?
He's singing down though. Like, that's one thing I love about the beginning. Even though Eric gonna be on his petty shit, he's like, "I'm gonna sing for you though. I'm gonna give you these blends. I'm gonna give you these harmonies though. I'm gonna give you that."
That's how they
get
you.
But then I'm about to be on some shit.
That's how they get you.
No. But
that's
then
how they get you. Just treat you like a 3 for 10, like you ain't nothing.
Yeah. Just loving your best friend. I'll be damned. That make me not want to have no best friends. None. Just be by myself. Just go dolo. Just chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to worry about none of that shit. No, you ain't about to be talking about if you wondering why I'm knocking, why you ain't open. Yeah, motherfucker, you loving my best friend. What the hell are you talking about? I mean,
at me in like a 3 for
10. Not just who's there.
I hate you, Elise. I hate you.
There's the rub, though. You don't, though. That's the rub.
And don't.
Look, oh man.
But speaking of this, like you said, Keith, he's petty as shit. When he says, though I'm in another lady, I'm still thinking about my baby. How petty can you be? Like, he's in another lady and he's thinking about you. He's thinking about another chick.
And like
you said, Elise, you would think that this song would be nice after coming off of spending my life with you, going into something real. And then loving your best friend, you thinking, oh, you're gonna love, oh, you found your best friend, you're in love, and no, he being a petty ass dude. Cause the next song is petty as well too.
Petty boots.
Cause look, and loving your best friend, I love how he starts off saying like, if you wondering why you knocking, why I ain't opening up, I'm loving your best friend. Then later he talks about if you wondering why he's knocking and she ain't opening up because she's loving the new man. Yeah, because you loving on her best friend.
Yeah, that's petty.
I mean, who's making love to your old lady while you was out making love? That's what that is.
Come on, you better. Come on, Johnny. You better. You better. Yeah.
With his foot for the goose. The gander.
And I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but we know that Wyclef Jean was a co-producer on this joint, right?
You know, Jerry Wonder, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he's been involved in productions on other songs that kind of have like a similar, you know, theme. Mm-hmm. Some of his own songs, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, you know, or having a song speaking about him. Just, like I said, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it's just very coincidental that he produces on that joint.
Right.
And that's just letting Eric just, you know, turn into, instead of Mr. Eric Benet, it's Mr. Eric Pettynet. You know what I'm saying? Because he's being petty on this song. Mr. Eric Petty. Eric Petty. Yes. Thank you.
Like something's wrong with y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Loving your best friend. Yeah, that's why. No.
But I mean, he sounds good on it though. Like he does.
I like this petty ass song. I do.
No,
I do. It sounds good as fuck. This song sounds good. It's just the lyrics is fucked up.
Yeah.
But great song. Great song.
Yeah, you can tell. I think this was probably a fun record. They was probably making this and they was just having fun in the studio for real. Yeah. Like I don't think it was nothing to it. Just like they've got in the studio and put on the thing, you know what I'm saying? You know, Wyclef and his Haitian joint. I love when Whitney made fun of his Haitian accent. I loved it. I was always here for it. Yo, man, come on, man. Like, Whitney was so funny when she did it. So you could just imagine them, Jerry Wonder, Wyclef, and Eric. But you never would think of that collaboration, though. Like, you would never think. But again, this is an album of new flavor, new everything different. So Eric was giving us new stuff that you would never think. You know what I mean? Mind you, Wyclef just came off the joint with Whitney, speaking of, with My Love Is Your Love. So it was different then. So it was like, he was working with the singers.
That's right. So shout out to Wyclef. I don't want this to be where I'm like disrespecting or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, I just found it coincidental in regards to, you know, the theme.
I mean, but when you're right. When you're right, you're right.
Because I mean, if it's not right, but it's okay, you know, I'm gonna love you anyway. But it's all right. Though.
You know what?
It's all right.
I can't with y'all. You know.
But yeah, no, the next song though, I call it a petty flex song.
I'm here for it. When you think of me.
Yep.
I'm here for it. All of the pettiness.
He is flexing.
I'm sorry. I'm here for it. Talk your shit, Eric, on this. I'm sorry. Talk all of it. I'm sorry. When somebody did you dirty and you want them to see how great you're doing with somebody else new, like, ha, bitch, gotcha.
Yes, it's a petty flex closure type of song. He getting himself closure on this record. And he's like, he said, oh baby, that's okay. I'll introduce you to my fiance. I was like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? He said, hello baby, how you been? Oh dang, yo.
It is I had a lot of favorites. I don't have a favorite on this album because I love a lot of songs like equally, but it is one of my. It's in the running for one of my favorite songs on this album. I love it. I love it stylistically. Like it has the feel of a few different genres in it. So I like that. It has a jazz element, it has a folksy element. It's still like raw R&B at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just I love it. I love his voice on it. Now I will say the part of the song when he kind of like scatting, it depends on my mood that day of whether I like that part or not.
Right.
Sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't.
Wait, you talking about Eric Scatton or Roy Ayers?
The Roy Ayers.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to.
I'm sorry.
Like, yo, okay, look, the song is already just petty and aggressive in that sense, right? So much so that Roy Ayers felt like he had to channel that same energy. Why? Because I mean, if you listen to it, it's like, what? I was like, oh, you Roy.
Sometimes I love that part, and sometimes it startles.
Not startles.
Sometimes I be with it. I think it'll put on my mood. If I feel a little more angsty, I'm into it. But if I'm just kind of sunshine of these, I just be like, whoa, okay. I'm still with you because it's not long.
You
still with
rocking.
Still with you.
You rocking, right? Just the Eric singing, and all of a sudden, what? I'm like, Roy, you are just as pissed as Eric. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna think of you, Roy, if you gonna react like that. That's just it's like he couldn't sing it, so he had to play it aggressively. That was his way of singing. I was like, damn, okay.
Like, right. The song already aggressive as it is, and then Eric brings more. I mean, then Roy brings in more of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already a petty ass song and aggressive as it is, but Eric is smooth with it, and then Roy Ayers just come out of nowhere. Like, you be like,
right. Yeah.
So I get it. Like, startled when Elise was like, it's startled. Like, I was like, even though I was like startled though, but I get it because again, Eric is still smooth on the record, and Roy just come out of nowhere, and you just like, oh, okay, so this is where we at. Okay, cool. Like, it gives you a shift. It's like okay, all right, this is where we at. Okay, all right, Roy. Eric probably and then was in the studio like, let Roy do whatever it is he want to do, whatever he's feeling. Yep, we don't care. We're gonna take whatever take from it we're gonna get. So we're, you know what I'm saying? He's Roy Ayers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah, seriously. It's like
that card.
If your hair was already put back by the time it came to Roy's part, that shit would just go right up top, just looking like Kid from House Party.
Why y'all like this?
Oh my God, that's why I keep
God.
yo.
Yes, I love the pettiness of it. I love it's not pet, it's a real record. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a real record. It's like you put your heart into somebody and it just didn't go the way you wanted to, and the other person really wasn't in it like you, and you finally found you want to show them, I gave my love to this person and they understand it, and look where we at now. This could have been you, but it really wasn't supposed to be you. But this could have been you, but it was supposed to be you, but it ain't. Sorry. So when you think of me, I want you to feel like you're dying. I want you to break down crying. I want you to fall to your knees.
That nigga fall.
Do you want to go on living? Does your world stop spinning when you think of me?
And then, like, towards the end, you kind of hear Roy still quietly just. It's like, oh, yeah, he did.
Right. Like, are we going there again?
Let me. Let me okay, it's safe now. It's safe. It's safe.
But no,
Right.
but Eric Benet was basically saying, he was channeling his what's my dude from the Five Harvey, Eddie Kane. He was like, how does it feel to be me? Just saying, that's how he was feeling on that joint. Yeah, man.
Eric, damn, you keep. I was about to spit out myself. Oh God.
Oh shoot.
But it's the truth. Oh my God.
That's Roy, and then Roy came in with
Right. What great song. Because this was at least was this the last single on the album, if I'm not mistaken?
It was.
The last
It
single.
was only 3 singles.
Okay.
I don't think that was a good single. I don't think they picked the right song for the 3rd single.
I don't either. Even though I love the record, but I don't think it should have been the last single.
When we get to it, I'll tell you what song should have been the single.
Oh, I think we might. I think I know what one too, but we'll get there.
Absolutely should have. And what should have been the single is outside of the singles, the song that a lot of people know from this album. If they don't know no other song, they know this song.
Yep. I think we might be in the same song. We'll get there. All right. So what's the next one?
Is it Lamentation?
Lamentation. That's okay. That is the next song, right? Okay, Lamentation. Yes. Again, I guess it's a message song for real. Like this is a song about it's a message in it, and Spanky again on the guitar, man. And I think this is when I think Eric is just saying like, this is God, just hear my cry to me.
Right.
Like this is just hear what I'm saying, because this world is it's so crazy. And shout out to Ali Shaheed Muhammad because he's on this record. And I think this is a timeless record because the lyric when he said, looking down this world of dying love.
Yeah.
Like that's deep. You know what I'm saying? Like that's deep. And that's a timeless line because I'm like, yo, love can fix a lot of things. And us being in Pride Month, shout out to the community. You know, it's just like, God damn it. Can we just love everybody, y'all? Like all of this mess, like everybody is different. Nobody's the same, but God damn it. Can we just love and all of this bull? Like, it's annoying to me. It's aggravating. And this type of song, I think that's where Eric was just like, yo, let's just love one another, yo. And God, can you just shine and rain down love on people so they can just love one another? I think that's what this message was, to be honest. That's what I think from this song, for real.
Yeah, I definitely got a Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye, like, you know, more modern, like 99 version of what's going on as far as the type of song this is. And I like how he speaks in the first verse about, you know, talking to, you know, his brother, and then the next verse is about a sister, and then the third verse he's just crying out to God, just like you said, JR, just, you know, asking God to just, you know, shine down his love, you know, to bring down his love and shine on it. And so, you know, I think for what they were trying to go for as far as the approach of this song, I thought was good. So I think it just brings the diversity of this album by having a song like Lamentation on there.
I agree. Ha! We get to Dust in the Wind.
Man.
Hey, Brian.
Hey,
our friend Brian.
Hey,
B. Morgan. Look, when I first heard this song, it wasn't even the production that really got me to think, because I'm really good when I'm hearing Brian's production since 1992, and he's one of my favorite producers, so I kind of know his sound, but I heard his backgrounds on this, and I said, no, that's Brian. I was like, that is Brian when I heard it. I was like, and if Brian is on background, he's produced this record. Like, he's written and produced this record. I was like, had to. So I looked in the liner notes and I didn't see he wrote it. I was like, wait, who the heck is this? Like, I'm like, who the heck wrote this? And then I saw, what's his name? He's from, obviously, the group Kansas.
Yes.
That's where Elise was going in the beginning, y'all.
Yep.
And what's his name? I think Carrie Live Green or something like that. And he's the lead singer of Kansas. And
Carrie Live Green. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And Dusty in the Wind. And the way Brian flipped this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It reminds me of kind of the way Brownstone flipped. I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
The way they flipped it and made it theirs. You don't even think about the Eagles when you come to theirs.
It also made me think of how with Janae, how they flipped For the Longest Time to Billy Joel, to where it sounded like a totally different song, but it's the same song. They made their own melody and arrangement to it, and it's just dope.
Yeah. No, I definitely dig this version. And again, shout out to Brian for the production you did on Dust in the Wind. Because I mean, for those that know the original version from Kansas, I mean, it to me gives more of a folk type of sound, but Kansas, from what I understand, is more of a prog rock band. But Dust in the Wind doesn't have that sound to me in particular. But what Brian did for the cover, like he just, made it sound current for the time, you know what I mean, and added, just sprinkles of just hip hop production on there. Like, if I heard it correctly, I was thinking I was hearing like, a little bit of Paul Revere in the background, mixed in.
Okay.
With the production, with the reverse sound of the beat, if that makes sense. But and I know Brian has spoken about how he would incorporate elements of hip hop sounds into his production, and that's how, a lot of the classics that we know of his now has come about, especially with SWV. So yeah, shout out to Brian for that. Yeah, and for the fact that Eric Benet did 2 covers on this album, you know what I mean, just kind of says a lot. Because I mean, he did If You Want Me to Stay on True to Myself, which was from Sly and the Family Stone. But on this album, he did a cover from Toto with Georgie Porgy, and now Dust in the Wind from Kansas. And I don't know if you guys knew that he had I think it was a Japan only release of a whole album of covers that he did.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called From E to U. I think it came out in 2014, something like that. But he did, covers of, I believe, Africa from Toto. He did After the Love Is Gone from Earth, Wind, Fire, which that version he did is like more jazzy. It's super dope. But I think you might be able to find it possibly on YouTube, but unfortunately I don't see it available on streaming anywhere. But yeah, I mean, he did, at least the first 2 albums he did like covers, but I think after that he didn't really tackle any covers that I can think of.
I'm gonna have to go and find that. Because I did not know about that, Keith, for real. You just put me on to something, because I didn't know he did a thing of cover. So I'm gonna find it. It's definitely probably on YouTube if it ain't streaming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's called From the letter E, the word to, and then the letter E. So
yeah, from E to U.
That's correct. Okay. You know what year it came out, sis?
14.
Oh, it did come in 2014. Okay.
But yeah, so
no,
he did his thing first.
Yeah, Brian did his thing with this as usual. You know, we're gonna shout you out, Brian, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, so great song. So we get to Why You Follow Me. This should have been a single to me.
Yeah, that could have worked as a single also.
Yeah. I think this definitely, and then the times that it was, we know this is the Latin explosion. So this is 99 going into 2000s. You got people that's working. You got Whitney working with Enrique Iglesias. You got Enrique Iglesias. You got Mark Anthony. You got, Ricky Martin. You got Jennifer lip singing Lopez. You got all of them. You know what I mean? Did I just say that?
In public, in front of the police.
Right. Bring it back to another level. I know that's right. I know that. So I thought like this could have been a real single for real, and mind you, all the different flavors that he was already bringing in the singles that was released, it would have made sense. Again, it's like Georgie Porgy just knocked us over the head for real. It was like, whoa, okay, and then you give us the ballad as the second single with him and Tamia. I think you needed to come up again for the third. Yeah. It's like you stayed down with why do you think of me? I think it's a great song. I think it's a great album cut for me. I think it is an amazing album cut. I think Why Do You Follow Me would have been a great. This was Summer Rain before Summer Rain.
Sweet rain.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's great point, JR.
You see what I'm saying? Like it was that, and I think it would have definitely hit. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have definitely hit. Now, would he would have got the crossover appeal on white radio? Probably not, because again, Eric is just very soulful. You know what I mean? And it's hard for them to sell it over there. And we done said it so many times on this, catch that as far as that situation. It's hard to do that, but I really think it would have been great. A video, MTV would have played it, VH1 would have played it, BT would have played it. It would have got the notoriety that it would have, and I think it would have did okay. But I just, again, even though I love When You Think of Me, I just wish that wasn't the last single. I just wish, and I think why do you follow me? Like I just like it's just a nice groove, and it's just. You feel like doing the merengue to the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
And honestly, this wasn't the song that I was thinking that Elise was speaking of for the third song.
Oh no, I know I wasn't either. No, I wasn't.
This makes sense though, that if it would have been the third single because of everything you just said. And like listening to the song, I was like, dang, well, he's already talked about, throughout the album, just like he's got his message song, he's got his, his petty songs where he's, giving closure and, just want to talk his shit. He's got his romantic wedding, beautiful songs, you know what I'm saying? Why You Follow Me, while it's got a nice groove to it, it definitely has the theme of temptation and desire in it. You know what I mean? But the melody is so catchy, it's like, I follow me. It's like, but yeah, he's talking about like, being in love with his homie's girl, you know what I'm saying? But she's obviously like, starting to feel for him too. That's what I get out of it.
Right.
And it's like, well, why you follow me? Because I don't want to do this, but you keep it up, then hey,
keep on playing. Keep on.
We ain't social media, but you gonna follow me.
Keep on. You about to get this 3 for 10.
That 3 for 10. One more again. True to myself. ETM. You better ask
This
somebody.
was a quite eventful day in the life of Mr. Benet. There's a lot going on that day.
I'm telling you, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't
Listen.
know if this was a like made to be a concept out, but if it was, that's a long ass 24 hours. I don't know anybody that could go through all that in 24 hours. We ain't even done.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yep.
Just but, good Lord. There's a cross somewhere.
Yes. All right. So we come. We go. Well, we. The next joint is "Come as You Are."
Ooh, yeah.
This just takes me back to true to myself feeling. Like I got that.
Yes.
I love, and again, Elise says it, or when I say it on every episode, I love something familiar. So bring me something, Eric, that I love from the debut. And this gives me Why You Were Here type of feeling. It gives me that. Like, it gives me that. Like, the same feeling that I get from that, it gives me this. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's joint. Deep as hell. Like, it's just deep. Like, when you know, like, a relationship is over. This dude said, "'Cause my world revolved around the love that never was." Whew.
Yeah.
This is the love I never had.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
Yeah. Like, while you were here, that's the joint. Because I kept thinking All in the Game, but it's While You Were Here that I think has more of a parallel to Come As You Are. Or at least sonically, like, it gives me that vibe from True Myself from the album. So
yeah. You know something Eric has a skill, a very good skill that he has, is he can make a song that I feel like if 95% of the male singers, if they would have sang it, it would have been boring as fuck.
Right.
Yes.
He has songs, he can do these super slow songs, just super slow, and it not be boring.
Right.
But in theory, if somebody else sang it, you'd be like, sure.
Right.
Yeah. But he has, it's something about his tone and the subtle things he does, and the subtle things and the obvious things that he does that just that keep you going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this song has very, very a lot of potential to be boring, but it's not.
Yeah, and he makes it that way once he gets to like the bridge and the ending.
Yeah.
Because then you add that with the strings and the violin, and it's like you said, it's a build-up, yes. And like you said, it could have went really the boring route. You know what I'm saying? But the way Eric sings and the way the instruments and all that, it's like, all right, it's cool. It doesn't make you be like, oh, I'm tired. Like, all right, we need another song. But again, it's a painful record. Like, word-wise, it's like, damn, like, you know, this is the end. Like, this is it. And I'm hurt from this shit. And he's just telling you, like, come as you are. Like, please. Like, it's like you're between that begging, but you know it's over type of thing. And like Elise said, I'm just glad that he didn't make it boring, because it could have been on some boring. I'd have been like, Eric, now, Eric. Like, this is a little, but
he has that. He just has that skill, because I feel like he has a lot of very, 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 very slow ballads, but he just makes them. I mean, shit, spin that could with the wrong singer on it. That could have
It could have been boring.
That could have went boring, and it's one of the most, but yet it's one of the most interesting and gorgeous songs I ever heard.
Yeah,
because he has his style, his vocal styling, just makes songs interesting.
Right, I agree.
He's very good with that.
Yeah.
Even like, you know, on later projects, even say like with Hurricane, like I love his song "The Last Time." That to me sounds more like a song that would be all over not just on, you know, uh, black radio, but just on all just stations all over. You know what I mean? It just has that that what's the word I'm trying to think? I guess adult contemporary sound to it because of the production. I think David Foster did production on Hurricane, and it has that feel to it. But I feel like Eric Benet can do songs like The Last Time, but also do songs that he did on A Day in the Life as well. Like, it's very diverse. He's not just stuck in a box. Like he can do pretty much all types of styles.
Yeah,
I like that Hurricane album.
me too.
It's so
Me
good.
too.
Yeah.
I want to be loved.
Yeah.
Man enough to cry.
Man Enough to
Oh my
Cry.
God, man.
That's a cut right there. Man Enough to Cry.
Oh my God, Jesus. Oh.
Because I think there was supposed to be an album in between called Better and Better that I think ended up becoming some of the songs that are on Hurricane.
Yeah, because it's a big gap from
Yeah.
A Day in a Life to Hurricane. It's like 6-year gap. Like it's like, whoa, like
yeah.
But he was going through a lot at the time personally. So it was like a lot he was dealing with. So I guess music definitely wasn't in his mind then. You know what I'm saying? So it had to take him a minute, and that's why he was like, it was a hurricane for real. So that's why he probably named it that. You know what I mean? For real. But
because I think
yeah,
Pretty
I love
Baby
Hurricane too, at least. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Pretty Baby, a few others that were meant to be on Better and Better ended up becoming Hurricane.
Yeah,
And
Pretty
I think that
Baby.
was
One of the best songs ever made.
Shout out to our brother Neltron that
Pretty
did the
Baby.
song Pretty Baby.
Oh, Pretty Baby. Yeah. My cousin Neltron. What up, dog?
Oh my God. Yes.
My favorite Eric Benet song.
Yeah, you did say that. Yes, you did. Did say
that.
But
like,
it's
I don't think it has
that song is nuts.
Mm-hmm. Like each album I think he has is solid.
Yeah,
there's just a couple songs that I'm like, I could listen to it or I could just go without it. But yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we get to Love That Hurt Away.
Oof. Man.
Love the Hurt Away. I'm sorry. Love the Hurt Away. I love that Hurt Away. God, Lord.
That one gives me the original version of Let's Stay Together kind of vibes as far as the production.
I can give you that.
With the organs and just like the tempo of the production. But again, he's talking his shit on the song where it's like, he's saying if you looking to have the hurt, be taken away, come see me. Like I'm here. Like I got something that you will not ever find anywhere else, basically. Just let me love the hurt away.
Yes.
When you hit that.
Oh, that hot. Oh, he makes me mad too in a good way. Though. Oh, especially when sometimes I cry later on the
yes.
I cry because I can't hit that note.
Yeah. I love this song, and it's like John said, it's the song. It sounds like day one Eric Benet. That song.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, everything about it. It could have easily been on the first album. Easily, it'd fit right in.
I agree.
That song, it is quintessential Eric Benet.
Yes.
Yep.
It's amazing. I think it's a great. I love the way he's singing. He just
because he's got that range where he like can sing in a lower tone, and then he goes to freaking oh, sometimes I cry 'cause I want to sing like him, but I can't.
And I would say,
Yes.
what's so funny of everyone that he was compared to, and y'all know how much I love them two guys on the picture back there. But out of them, Eric was the best singer.
Vocally, yes,
Best.
absolutely.
Leaps and bounds. And I love them down. Leaps
Yeah.
and bounds better singer. It fast is fast. I don't make the rules. It's just what it is.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, he showcases all that throughout this album, especially. And
He's a pure singer.
Yes.
Pure singer. He's just, yeah.
And
great
on
songwriter, too.
this, I say again, this is gospel background for me, because again, that organ, the way it comes in the beginning, that's a church organ for real.
Yeah.
And it's just and I love when our R&B artists show their church. It can be in the production, it can be in the way they sing. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter who it is. So obviously, what's his name? DeMonte is the one that's playing the organ.
Right.
He's obviously from the church, and Eric just falls right in. And I just love his backgrounds on this. Like,
Yeah.
I just, like Elise said, he's just a pure singer, yo. And like you said, yeah, you can put him in the group with all of them dudes, but he is the best vocalist.
Yeah, you put him with him, and he gonna sing circles around him. I'm sorry.
Period.
And all them dudes can sing very well. But Eric,
he has more range.
Yeah, he has more range.
Yes, he has more range than them. And this song, man, it's just the lyrics, man. Like, he's spitting his game to this girl. Like, yo, I've been there for you and you for me. Better friends we'll never find. Nobody knows you. They be like, I know you. We could miss out on an opportunity for what we've been trying to find.
Yeah.
Enough said. Enough said.
Do y'all remember a song he did with the Roots called "Why"? That was on the soundtrack to the movie Ride.
Oh no.
Oh, that joint is super dope too.
Was the song also in the movie?
I don't remember. I don't recall watching the movie. I just remember it being on the soundtrack.
Okay, I saw the movie, but I don't recall ever listening to the soundtrack. But that, like, maybe that. I feel like I just have a vague memory of hearing Eric Benet's voice, so maybe that song was in the movie. Because sometimes soundtracks songs would be in the movie, sometimes not.
Right. Because I mean, it's just mainly him as far as vocals. I think the Roots is just playing the music. Because there's no Black Thought or like no other lead vocalist on there. It's just but it is Eric Benet and the Roots. But that song right there is super dope. That one is not on streaming either, but I know the song is called "Why."
Okay, I'm on it. I just saved it to my what you call it. I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
I just wonder. I feel like the movie was in the song, but it might not have been because there's a lot of songs on this soundtrack. Everybody was on that soundtrack.
Like Dave Hollister.
Yeah, Dave Hollister, Redman, Eric Sermon, Wu-Tang Clan, Onyx, Nori, Nas, Nature.
Yeah.
Mia
wow.
X,
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Damn Fire. East Siders, Naughty by Nature, Jermaine Dupri, Urban and Roots, Something for the People, Trina Tamara, Raphael Sadiq, Adriana Evans, and Phife Dawg. Well, I'll be.
Wow.
And Eric Benet's got some dope soundtrack songs too, including, Why, but like what's the joint from the Brothers movie? Love Don't Love Me? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, because he had a video for that.
Yeah. Love Don't Love Me. Yeah. And then I think he had a song on the Best Man soundtrack too that I can't remember the title of. But yeah, I mean, he's been doing his thing. So
yes, he has. Yes, he
yeah,
has.
but yeah.
So we get into the next joint, Ghetto Girl.
Yeah, that's my least favorite song on this album.
Yeah, my least. Me too. Me too.
I want to like this song more, but I just don't really think it's one of those ones that like
Of
you
the
said earlier,
time.
flavor of the time. But even then, though, it's like, okay, it's a dope collaboration with him and Michelle because I love both of them. But I just, yeah. And then, the whole theme of, Ghetto Girl. I mean, that was around the time, if I'm not mistaken, where everybody was just using ghetto in their songs. You had ghetto hymns from Dave Hollister around that time. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto girl this, ghetto that, ghetto, ghetto, ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't really see Michelle's part in the song making sense because it's like she's featured on it, but all she's saying is like, "Hey yo, what's up with you? Can I keep it real?" You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to have heard her be, I guess, if it's gonna be called Ghetto Girl, be like speak from her perspective, where I felt like that was lacking. So that made it my least favorite on the album.
Yeah,
But shout out to, you know, I believe it was Sauce, right? Or something from the people that did production on this one.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, they did the double, you know what I'm saying? They made a song that was current for the time. So, I give them props for that. Yeah, it just didn't really age well for me though over the years.
Yeah, I agree.
No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't produce that.
That? Oh, my bad. My bad.
It was produced by oh shit. Oh, I lied. It was. Just kidding. Haha.
Oh, so they do it. Okay.
It wasn't the whole, but the whole collection wasn't. It wasn't credited something for the people. It was just credited him.
Oh, okay.
All the other production credits are something for the people.
Got you.
Okay, got you.
But that one is Wilson. It's just C. Wilson. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it could have been left off the album.
Yeah, if the song just would have been about something else, I actually would have liked it. Sonically, it's fine to me for the time and all that. Like, it's fine, but the material wasn't good for me. The writing.
I think
it was just such a trite phrase, like you said, Keith. By then, it was just like, and I probably did like this song at the time. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't really care for it now, but in the time, I think I was fine with it.
Right. I think it would have fit more for a soundtrack that would have had that type of theme.
Yeah.
More
like
so.
If that would have been on that Ride soundtrack, it probably made sense. Because that was a ghetto ass movie.
Yeah, exactly. So
ghetto, terrible ass movie. That's a terrible movie.
But, just again, he works really well with female artists, and Michelle is no exception. I just feel like this particular song really didn't
curl all the way over.
Work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The Luther curl was not there. Yeah. Nah. So we end the album with Love on My Own.
My favorite song on this album.
Oh my God, yes, Jesus.
My favorite song on this album.
One of my faves. Yep.
A great closer too, I think. It was a great one.
Somewhere in my memory. He goes.
Yeah. Oh.
You had to stunt like that. That was a stunt.
It was. And was.
Yeah.
It was.
He like.
And yeah. You know when it's about to be a song when he does a little like riffs in the beginning? Like he does that on Spend My Life With You. He's like, and then on this one, he's like, You know his Eric Benet-isms that he does. You know
that exactly what it is. His Eric Benet-isms.
Yes, but
yes,
great song, man. Great song. It a very vulnerable song.
That's what I love about it. That's what I love about it.
He's like, I'm here with somebody, but that person is not you. Then it goes to that person is not there with him, and he's just still searching for the love of his own. But he's in the meantime, playing the field, trying to, whether it's get through the time or, just trying to figure it out. But he's still searching for the love of his own. And she's out there, but he's just not within reach of her, from what I get of this song. And yeah, he just shows his vulnerability on this one.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just so good. He's like, no one here beside me.
Yeah. That's
one of those songs. It's a song like how femininity or it gets me like femininity where I can't listen to it one time.
Right.
I play it over and over. It's that for me. Or like what's the other song I said? Pretty Baby. Like I have to I just gotta run it. Run it. It's just so gorgeous and like you said, vulnerable and just and he's like just vocally show. It's a great ender of the album because he's just showing off. He's like, okay, I did all this. I'm gonna show you I can do all that, and I'm gonna do it all in one song, and you gonna deal with it.
Right. Well, you know how you guys were talking about how you think "Why You Follow Me" would have been a good third single, and I agree with that. I also think that if they were like so much wanting to put the third single as more of like a mellow song instead of "Why You Follow Me," or no, "When You Think of Me," excuse me, I would have chosen "Love of My Own."
Yeah, because I'm telling you, that's the song with people that ain't even usually album cut people. They'll know that song.
Yeah.
You see him in concert, they know that song. He definitely sings it.
This will be one I would love to see him perform live. I don't know if he has done it often or at all, but this will be one I would love to hear done live.
I've heard him sing it live.
Have you?
It's a fan favorite.
That's awesome. I mean, I can see, because I mean, just from the production of it and just his vocal performance and how it's written, like I could see everyone just being this attached to it.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, that's quite a day in the life of Eric Benet.
Like how you did that.
Crazy ass day.
Yeah, that's a wild.
A wild ass day he had. Jesus.
It is an eventful 24 hours.
Right.
You need to take paid time off for at least a good 2 weeks just to get through that whole damn day. Good Lord.
Oh my God.
Talking about why you follow me. Well, that's just my way. I'm going to get me some pudding pie. Holler at my man, Georgie Porgy. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to find Shorty so I can like spend my life with her. You know what I'm saying? Give her something real. You know what I'm talking about? And then ask her, why you follow me? Well, guess what? Because you ain't social media. But you know what? I'm still going to find love of my own, whether it's a ghetto girl or someone that's just going to come as you are.
She a ghetto girl, but she man.
Ooh,
and I'm going to spend my life.
Woo. Yes, indeed.
I have finally found the love of my own.
All of my own. I ain't talking Patti LaBelle, Michael McDonald either. Of my own or all my own.
We getting a divorce. We won't even marry.
Man, say I do and I don't all in the same sentence. How about that?
All those past loves are just dust in the wind.
Oh,
I know that's right. Let me sign off on my lamentation. They
And
call
now
me.
I got you. I truly am loving my best friend.
You wonder why I'm knocking and they ain't calling you and picking up. Lord, Lord. Girls, you can go now. Thank you very much. There's a going somewhere. Lord, Lord.
Yes.
Name.
Next, okay, I ain't starting that shit because I will. That is my yeah. It won't be good.
Mhm.
Well, now,
Yes.
unless you had anyone else have any remarks to make about A Day in the Life?
Amazing album.
Yeah.
It's an amazing album. I'm glad that we talked about it. It was such a good album for real. And it really bridged the gap of him commercially and not being commercial and made a great body of work for me. So I think it's amazing. Like Keith said, it's the top 2 for me.
Yeah. I agree with JR. And again, shout out to Chastity, because you said that she did an interview with
Sauce, yes.
Sauce,
Yes.
right, to commemorate the 25th anniversary. So shout out to. But no, this is a super dope album. I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm shocked that this is the only album that I know of that has been certified gold or even close to platinum. Where I know times have changed and all of that, but I just feel like for those that don't know his catalog that may be watching this, I would recommend checking out, starting with A Day in the Life and then just go from there. But yeah, y'all won't be disappointed because each album he has is real solid. So
Yeah.
and I know he collaborated with Tamia again too. I think it was on the remix to Sunshine off of his self-titled album that came out a few years ago. And so I'm excited to hear what he comes up with. And I don't know if you guys remember too, real quick. He had an imprint called Jordan House, where he had Calvin Richardson and Guapole signed. And I don't know if you guys heard the I Am Calvin album.
Yeah.
That he helped like executive produce and I think co-write a few of the songs. But Calvin's song "We Gonna Love Tonight," oh, that joint right there is crazy. And I think Eric Benet helped co-write that joint. So, but yeah, but A Day in the Life is definitely worth listening to, and yeah, y'all won't be disappointed. So,
Yes, sir. So
yeah,
I also want to thank my friend of me for life, Mark Chappelle. He bought me this album for my birthday. And I really appreciate it. And it's even more hilarious. Hey, Mika. Why it's hilarious that he bought me an Eric Benet album. Inside joke. Hi, Mika. Hi, Mark. Hi, Jay.
Hey, yes.
But yes. But all that aside, I don't want to give him too much time. We have now entered my favorite part of the show. Yeah!
Yes!
It's also Keith's favorite part of the show.
Very happy to be here again. Yes!
I remember the first one. You was like, oh, I get to do that? You were so excited.
Oh, yes.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yes. Man, I love this section too.
So I'm going to give you 5 songs that charted R&B in 99.
Okay.
So we'll start with, I'll give you 5 songs. First thought, memory, or feeling that comes up when you hear the name of that song.
Okay.
And it's just going to be random R&B songs for 99. Some of them might be 98 because they might have still been on the charts. All right. So we have, this is a good one. David Hollister, My favorite girl.
Mm.
He said, "What's wrong with your shady ass?" I'm like, how you gonna sound like church on a song that is?
And you can't be nobody but Dave Hollister. That's all that is.
I mean, it made sense though because of the Ghetto Hymns album, but yeah, I remember that being just like the lead single, if I'm not mistaken, for Ghetto Hymns, and I was like, "Yo, Dave got vocals, man," but that song at the time didn't really catch me too much, but like other songs from the album definitely stood out to me. What's my joint? I can't remember what it's called, but he has like a vocal sample of Run from Run DMC in the background. It's shoot, I can't remember the name of it. But along with my favorite girl is Baby Mama Drama, and he was going through some stuff. You can definitely tell on that album, and so I think as a lead single, no, it was a good one. It was good for the time.
All right. Next one. Genuine. What's so different?
Yeah. See, I don't know any rules on that one. Oh wow, yeah. Oh man, Elgin. Yeah, I know the song, but what up, Elgin? I don't really have as much of a connection to that one as I do Same OG from
That's my shit.
100% Genuine album. But yeah, again, I remember that, for the time, it just had that sound, and Timbaland was already in a lane of his own with production. But yeah, to me, I know it was called "What's So Different," but I didn't really see what was so different. But that's just me.
Hey, that's fine. The songs are here. They don't have to be good thoughts, memories, or they don't have to be good, bad, or indifferent.
It was genuine, just not for me.
I be trying to get a reaction sometimes. Cause the next one, the next one's gonna be a doozy.
Oh dear Lord.
It's 99. It could go either way on 99, baby. This was technically an experimental year.
Oh Lord.
It won't bad as the experimental of 80 to 83, but it was experimental. Just saying. All right, the next one. Casey and JoJo. Life.
Just like a bird. Like. That's it. They was doing what Roy Ayers did on When You Think of Me. That's how aggressive they was. I'm like, what? Tell me, how did what?
Somebody gave me life.
I'm like, you can't. They can't sing calm for nothing. They can't. Even JoJo, he tries. Poor JoJo, he tries. But you can't get KC to sing calm for nothing. You singing about, tell me, how did I get like? You hear how aggressive he is?
Somebody gave me life.
I mean, all my life, that's probably why JoJo was singing lead on that one instead of KC, because KC would have just been, I will know, love, more precious than you,
Oh God.
I love them though. I love them. I don't come for me, Jodeci, Casey, and JoJo fans. Y'all ain't got to get crazy. I know it's real. It's fine. You know, we just speaking on life here. But yeah,
I see what you did there.
That was very
yes,
nice. It was nice what he did there. Yes.
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 Watch out there. It's love always. Okay, it's love always here. There it is. Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we have Tyrese with Lately.
Ooh, dope song. Dope song. And for the fact that it came out early in his career, I think was, you know, a good time. Wait, no, Troy Taylor worked on Sweet Lady, right? But I'm trying to remember, did he do Lately too? No, I don't remember. But
Lately was
Yeah, what you call ain't had nothing to do with Lately.
okay.
Derek Allen.
Oh, okay. Derek Allen. Got you. Yeah, I like the song. There's a joint he
He
has.
also wrote it. He wrote and produced it.
Who, Derek Allen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's from Sacramento, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's worked with a lot of people. But yeah, I like Lately. There's a song on Tyrese's debut, and I can't remember the name of it, but I know it samples Street Corner from Ashford and Simpson. It's kind of like an up-tempo joint, but I think my favorite Tyrese song would probably be What Am I Gonna Do?
Oh, yes.
From the 2000 Watch album.
My brother loved that album. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
he ran that.
You know, again, it's one of those for the time, you know, no disrespect, but yeah, I like Lately though. Lately is a dope cut. It just showed that he can, you know, pull off singing a ballad. So
Right.
Baby, baby, oh, what? That was just mad.
Oh God.
All right. And our last one.
At least looking at me like, what the hell wrong with him?
Nah, you know I love that shit. I don't never stop you, Keith. Not one time have I ever told you stop or interrupted. I just let it flow.
Oh, this shit gonna come back to haunt me.
Like, are you not entertained? Oh, yes, I am. I am very entertained.
Yes, indeed.
Don't you worry your pretty little head about that. All right. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
And my last one, but definitely not least, is Montel Jordan, Get It On Tonight.
Ooh.
I just remember him saying, she's a chicken.
Yeah.
During that time, boy, I tell you, people, man, I don't know how many people were chicken heads during that time, but boy, let me tell you, he said, she's a chicken. I'm like, he said that so smooth.
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean, as shady as that song is, it's still a dope song. I mean, it's got a groove to it. I mean, it's one of those where I think like people aren't gonna probably pay attention to the lyrics when they're dancing to it at a club or you know what I'm saying, just doing their thing. But yeah, the part where he says she's a chicken, that's the part that sticks out to me.
The chicken.
Girl, she's a chicken. We might be together, but love is missing. But I want you. What can we do, oh, girl? If it's alright, we can get it on tonight.
We ain't alone.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, Montel is smooth, man.
It's one on one tonight.
Tonight. Hey, I don't get it on tonight, but What's On Tonight is one of my favorite songs from Montel.
Oh.
Girl, can you tell me what's on tonight? Dinner by candlelight. You gonna be on TV, and I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna be on you, and you gonna be on me.
I do. I have forgot about that song. I do like that song.
That's
I haven't heard in a long time.
Swing production. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I haven't heard in a long time. Yeah.
But no, Montel's smooth, man. And I know he got to that sample first before the Brett, I think. When she did What You Like.
Yeah.
With Tyree.
Hold up.
We get it started.
Yeah.
You sexy fun. Okay.
And that was the era too when everybody like felt the need to sing their name to let them know that they're on the track. Tyree. I'm like, oh,
Let's go. I know that. Everybody did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casey, help me. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah. That's fact.
For sure. For sure.
What was I about to say? I don't know. Oh, thank you for playing. Catch that Song Association. Hosted by Naturally Elise of the R&B Representatives.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm glad to have played this game once again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Keith, how about you tell folks what you have going on and how people can find you? And when you finish that, you can do the closing as you have done.
Yes. Right.
It's tradition at this point. So you now the floor is yours. You take us out.
Man, okay. Well, first off, thank y'all once again for allowing me to be on this platform to speak on a great album entitled A Day in the Life by Eric Benet. Secondly, currently I'm just preparing on becoming a husband once again, and this time it's to my lovely fiance Emily. So we're just preparing for that, and otherwise I'm trying to do some content here and there on social media, was TikTok or Instagram and Facebook, all of the above, and just try to continue to share my love. Oh, watch out, they're there now. Share my love of music with the peoples by playlists that I curate and stuff like that. But yeah, just trying to bring some smiles and light to the social media if I can. And yeah, with that being said, y'all can reach me, on Facebook at Keith Burroughs, TikTok, KAYBEE 3278, or the information may be, in the below section when this episode airs. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, we, on behalf of the R&B representatives and Cud Keith, like to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in and just enjoying yourselves while we talk about music and albums. And just please do us a favor. Please like, subscribe, and share to your friends about this wonderful show that is entitled Catch That. And also check out the Catch That minis and the 60 seconds of albums with Elise. Sorry if I said the title wrong. But and also you can catch JR too on his JR's Motown Life series, you know what I'm saying? So definitely check that out. And we will catch y'all on the next Catch That.
3 for 10, y'all. 3 for 10. Peace.
3 for 10. Yeah.